This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 1160, and it's a Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Nashville, Tennessee, it's artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What up, though?
And just down the road there in Nashville, our managing editor, downtown Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, Marty is out today. He'll be on the next episode. Hey, it is nice outside. Like, have you guys been spending? I got my pool ready. I got new floats. I've been outside like nonstop here in Florida. It's beautiful.
I got stung in the neck by a freaking bee, bro. Like, no, it's not nice outside. It's not nice outside. I got and this is my first time ever getting stung by a bee, so everything was going through my mind. Like, am I gonna go on anaphylactic shock? Like, I started thinking about in the neck, like right by my
Were you
my
provoking the bee?
What did you do?
No, I was just outside minding my own business. And he just stung me in the neck. I'm sitting here thinking about, what was that show where the kid, where Cully Culkin played in that sad movie? I thought that was going to happen to me.
My Girl.
My Girl.
Probably,
I was like...
That's one of the most dated references I think we've ever had on the show. So congrats on that.
Hey, look, that lets you know how traumatized I was. I went all the way back to when I was 6.
But Derek, I think you should be grateful. This is the first time you've ever experienced it. But I will say this: if in normal apparel clothing, I'm qualifying what I'm about to say. The neck has got to be top 3 worst places to get stung, right? Like if you're talking about normally exposed skin, neck is obviously the one. Eyes top of the chart for a lot of
numero uno, the eye.
Yeah. Maybe lip 2, neck 3. I don't know. I haven't thought through these rankings.
3 for sure.
So
bottom of your foot, you wouldn't be able to walk, right?
It's not always exposed unless you're wearing flip flops.
Well, if you're outside in the summer,
armpit would be crazy.
Can't put your arm down. Yeah, that would hurt.
No, so Derek, did it like swell up at all? Like what happened?
So far, so good. It didn't I instantly
you checking your pulse every 10 minutes.
The first thing I did was I went on Google and was like bee sting treatments. So and I felt like such a weakling because it was like, just wash it off with soap and water. I'm like, is that it? That's it? Soap and water?
That's
like,
what my grandma would have done. I was 8 staying with grandma, and the neighbor, she lived out in the country, and the neighbor had a new German Shepherd, and the owner was there, and I walked up as an 8-year-old, oh, can I pet your dog? Yeah, come pet him. I pet him, and I remember looking down at the German Shepherd and coming up and just its jaws enveloping my face, like it attacked me.
Oh,
and
wow.
And it like ripped, and I'm bleeding, like this is my, I still have divots in my jawline because of these teeth. Anyway, run back home screaming, back to grandma's house. She's an old Southern lady. She literally was just like, go wash it off in the wash with a wash. Here's a washcloth. Go to the bathroom. And I'm like, can I go to the hospital or something? And she's just like, suck it up. Here's a Band-Aid. You need a Band-Aid? No, like, I have scars still because she wouldn't take me to the hospital.
Yeah,
mentally and physically.
The old treatment was basically, let me see this open, exposed, horrific wound, and I'm going to pour either hydrogen peroxide or straight up like concentrated, alcohol.
91% alcohol. not the 78, not the green alcohol. 91%.
You think pure. That skin knee hurts? Let me show you what hurts, and then you're gonna. Yeah,
it's true.
Like, you need reality
I've been watching this anime called Vinland Saga. So cameras will make fun of me, but it's all about Vikings. It's an anime about Vikings. So
he's very excited about this.
I'm super excited. But you want to know the thing that tripped me out? Like when people would get on the show, they get stabbed in war, and it's just like they just would wash it off and put like a cloth on it. And I thought about, I said, man, modern medicine has advanced so much because there was no stitches, there's no nothing. It's just like if you got stabbed in a certain place, you just bleed out and you're done.
Yeah,
there was no stitch. I just thought about how I was watching. I was like, man, modern medicine has advanced to where pretty soon we may not need doctors. There'll just be a robot in there just
Or grandmas.
Grandmas.
The other
with
great
their home remedies.
My favorite kind of medicine is 80s action movie medicine, though, because there you stitch it up yourself. Like you get the needle and thread, and you know, in the bullet wound, or you're extracting the bullet yourself. Or my favorite is, you know, when you see someone get some sort of dislocation. Usually these dislocations happened when it's like hand-to-hand combat with like 5 henchmen at one time. And the henchman's method of fighting is usually they just each take turns running at the hero full speed, and then the next henchman does. In the process of dispelling these henchmen, one after one, inevitably an arm dislocation happens. And there's only, as we know, there's only one way to fix that. And that is slamming yourself against the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Having dislocated my elbow once, not by fighting henchmen, but by playing Ultimate Frisbee, one of the lamest ways to dislocate a bone. I can tell you, I wouldn't let anyone touch it, much less, you know, am I slamming it into a wall? So, but to your point, Derek, we've come a long way, modern medicine.
Come a long way.
Derek, when you got stung by the bee in the neck, what was your reaction? Be for real. Like, was it like, oh, okay, I need to go in?
Serious.
Were you screaming?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Hold on.
I didn't know. Like, you're running around, like fanning your neck, like something. Like my neck is on fire.
I'm gonna tell you the first thing I did. I smacked my neck. Like, what is this prick on my neck? I looked down and the bee and the stingers out there. So the first thing I did was step on the bee. Like the bee was already pretty much out of it, but I was like, "You jerk!"
Well, after he stings you, he dies anyway. I mean,
I know, but it's like I wanted to be the one, and me
retribution.
Then I said, "Yeah, right, it's justice." So then the next thing was I literally was like, "I've never been stung by a bee before," so I'm like, your brain goes to the worst case scenario. I'm like, am I allergic? Am I gonna swell up like Hitch? Like, I didn't know. So like now I'm running upstairs. I'm Googling, I'm running, I'm touching my neck. I'm trying to make sure it ain't swelling up. Like, dang, bro. Am I gonna choke out here? Because it's not like a bee sting in the arm, bee sting on the leg. It's like your neck, which is close to your head.
Well, I mean, if it swells, I don't know if you'd be able to breathe.
That's what I'm saying. You're done. You're done. Now, I will say this, Cameron. I've heard the same thing. Yeah, there's no point. Just say goodbye.
He moves on from everyone's death
quite
quickly.
Slowly say goodbye to everyone, and just let it. Just lie down in the yard. Just lie down in the yard, and you know. Okay, Cameron. Now you said when the bee stings you, the bee dies. I've heard that too. I've never confirmed it. I don't know if it's like, you know, when you swallow gum, it's 7 years to digest, or like.
No, they do. When the stinger comes out of them, they die. That's the thing.
Okay, I'm assuming that's a correct fact, because doesn't
Emily's
that make
looking it up right now. I can tell by her eyes.
I wouldn't sting anybody if I was.
Well, but here's the thing: doesn't that make it feel?
I would be a Christian bee.
Doesn't that make it feel so much more personal? Like this bee wanted to sting me so badly that it knew this is the last thing it's going to do. Like, I hate this guy or this woman so much. I want to sting them so bad that I'm willing to give my life for it.
The stinger,
that's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy.
The stinger is attached to the bee's digestive tract. So subsequently, the entire digestive system, muscles and nerves are pulled out with the stinger, which is what causes the death of the bee. So basically, it's attached to all of its guts, and all the guts come out with the stinger, and it drops dead.
It's insane.
I'll be honest. Most of my knowledge about bumblebees is from the Bee movie.
Jerry
from
Seinfeld?
like 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying I had bee guts on my neck is what you're saying?
Bee guts were attached to the stinger. Yeah.
See, that's the reason why. Like, that's why I stepped on it. I was like, bro, you ain't gonna put no guts on me.
You really showed him or her.
PBS.org. Why do bees die when they sting? And it says when a bee stings, it dies a gruesome death, and then it goes in and self-amputating. The entire lower abdomen of the bee is yanked out with the stinger.
So actually, Derek, you kind of gave it like a mercy. Like, you gave it mercy.
No, it died under died under the treachery of my foot.
But you made a quick death.
Don't you feel
I should have let it suffer.
a little satisfied that you suffered momentary mild discomfort and it died a horrific and then humiliating death all at one time?
No,
wait, humiliating?
I was
Do you think his friends were watching?
Yeah, it's like, he's getting stomped barefoot out in the yard. No one wants to go like that.
Dog,
Fly back to the
minding
hive
my
and
business, bro. I walk outside to enjoy the beautiful. Like this is my favorite time of year in Tennessee. Like spring is just like it's unmatched in my opinion. So I'm outside enjoying a beautiful day, and he just stings me in the neck for no reason. I wasn't doing anything. Sting me in the neck. So yeah, I don't care. I'm glad that it died the gruesome death.
Are you sure it's a bee and one a wasp?
No, it was a bee for sure.
It was? Okay.
Yeah, I looked at it, yeah.
Because around here in the spring, I'll see wasps like looking around to like start building nests and stuff. And the second I see the first one, before it even takes hold or finds a spot to start building, I'll just go get that wasp spray and we're done.
Yeah, we spraying. Yeah, nah. I don't mess with the wasp. If it was a wasp, I probably wouldn't be on right now. I would be at the hospital.
You'd have a baseball-sized goiter on the sides of your neck.
I'm out of here.
Yeah,
I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Saturday and Sunday it was the playoffs, and so but it was beautiful outside. So and I didn't have Cohen, I didn't have any plans other than watching the playoffs. So I decided to float in the pool, and I pulled a TV outside on a stand, like a big screen TV, and had the playoffs on, and the sun's out, and I'm floating on a big rubber duck. It was great. I had a great weekend.
I'm a big outdoor TV. I'm a big outdoor TV guy.
Yeah, you are.
Okay,
well, your outdoor TV has inspired me. So I have the home gym in the garage. So I have this one. I bought a rolling stand so I could have a big TV in the gym, or I could take it out by the pool sometimes. And so like that's what I did. It was
when
great.
I hear TV rolling stand, I'm basically thinking you're like a late 90s history teacher who like had a bad night.
Dude, it does have a little tray underneath. It's like a big flat screen. It has a little tray for your video player, but obviously I just stream.
We're going to watch some scenes from The Patriot today and not learn about the Revolutionary War because I had one too many tonight. So everyone just shut up, everyone.
Yeah, that's basically
TV by the pool for me is a no-go.
Really?
I'd be too afraid the TV falls in the pool.
Oh, I didn't have it like next to the pool. I had it up on the patio, but I could see it from the pool. You know what I mean? It was like 20, 30 feet away.
Okay.
Listen,
Derek has one brush with death, and now he's always thinking about the ways he can die.
Bro,
That's what's going to happen.
I was blow drying my hair in the bathtub last night thinking about how much I love my outdoor TV.
No. I had it up on the patio because it could be in the shade. Because out under, not in the patio, the sun would have made it hard to see the screen.
I was fishing a piece of toast out of the toaster with 2 metal forks this morning, just thinking about my outdoor TV and how much I love it right by the pool. The closer, the better.
So have y'all ever played the game Dumb Ways to Die?
No.
No.
So
every day.
That's actually the story of Jesse's life, Jesse's memoir.
There's literally a game I used to play, and it got me terrified of just like dumb ways to die because so apparently there was something happening in Europe with the trains as far as people getting too close to the yellow line. So someone created a game called Dumb Ways to Die to shame people into not getting too close to the yellow line. So that's like the first part of the game. And it's like these little monsters and it's just crazy stuff like fishing toast out of toasters and you got to try to not hit the electric part of it. Like it's a crazy game. But now I'm talking about it out. It's a very morbid game. I didn't realize how morbid it is as I'm talking it out.
Sounds like a blast.
They got a part 2. It was a hit.
I didn't have like that board game. That's how I spent my time as an only child was like trying to figure out how what I could get out of the toaster with the fork, like anyway. Yeah.
Well, you're also the same guy that apprehended
that's true.
A guy in your parents' backyard that was trying to rob
it. Yeah.
With super soakers.
That is true. And I set woods on fire. I said, I would just, what would happen if that was how I spent my childhood? It was like, what would happen if I did this? I jumped off the second floor, trying to do a trash bag parachute. It didn't work. It didn't open. I was in 4th grade. Stuff like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So much stuff is making sense now.
I should have died many times as a child. Yeah. This is why Jesse and I are friends. We're like, you did that too? Yeah, I did that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's if you could have seen pictures of some of the sketchy bike ramps that we not only built, but rode at full speed.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, most of them collapsed before the bike would jump over them. But every once in a while, you get some air, and none of us were good enough to land it. So, yeah, I understand.
Jesse, are you kidding me, bro?
Well, I mean, that was just what we did. Yeah, it was
me.
You didn't have like an old BMX and like try to do ramps and junk and like.
Two Americas, bro. Like,
I would find my dad would have a piece of scrap wood in the garage and a couple of bricks or cinder blocks, and I'd be like, oh, and not realizing that it's not just trying to. The weight is on the middle part. You got to like support the middle. So most of my ramps, I would get on and they would like crack
like
or collapse in the middle.
Yeah.
dip in the no.
We had like a development near us that was like going up. So there were a lot of houses under construction. So we would all ride bikes to the construction sites, each be responsible for at least one piece of wood, and then ride it back to our neighborhood. And from there, and none of us have construction skills or tools.
So you were stealing from construction sites?
At the time,
borrowed.
At the time, I didn't think it was theft. I was like,
it was leftover.
They got to build a whole house here. They're not going to.
Now they don't have to haul it away in the dumpster. I'm taking the piece of scrap for them.
I literally didn't even think about it. I was like, they're building a whole house. What are they going to miss this for? You know, like.
I mean, it's the last stair. They never were able to do the last stair in the staircase.
So a subcontractor ordered exactly 96 beams.
Right.
He's like, where's the other one?
Yeah. You see some kid on a dyno riding off with his crucial 2x4.
Out of curiosity for Cameron and Jesse, have either of y'all's kids picked up on y'all's recklessness, or is their childhood playing it safe?
No, they're far more cautious than me.
And Cohen likes art and gaming, and he's an inside kid. You know what I mean?
Going chilling, bro.
Like for me, I'd be like living where we live on the water and stuff. I would be out having adventures. I would be making makeshift rafts and exploring. That's what I would be doing. I'd be looking for alligators, even though we don't have any. But like, I that's what I would have been doing as a child. He's just like
looking for alligators is crazy, Cameron.
I'm just saying, you explore. Like I would go around our woods, which was swampy, and I would lift up logs looking for snakes. I'd have a machete in my hand, and then like, there's a coral snake, which is one of the deadliest snakes in the world, and you have to chop its head off before it bit you and stuff. I was like 9. Like that's just how you grew up. Yeah.
My goodness.
Well, that's
Florida's
how you grew
different.
up.
Florida is different. Florida is a different
that is true.
place.
Florida's not real.
Earth. It's not a real place.
Yeah, we didn't have like lethal reptiles, but it was like a lot of forts. Yeah, I don't.
Florida and Australia, two different places. The same place.
You cannot put us in the category of Australia. You've seen those spiders and stuff? We do not have those.
Crazy.
Have you seen the things that have come out of Florida?
Man.
It's not like Australia.
Cameron, bro.
That's another level.
Cameron, it's a diet. It's diet Australia.
Diet
bro.
Australia.
Florida is diet Australia.
No. Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. Why Florida is just as, if not more, dangerous when it comes to the native population there. I was going to say Australia may have spiders, reptiles, venomous snakes. Florida's got alligators and Floridians. And so
that is true. We have meth. Yeah. I was at the Publix the other night, like, and the pharmacy was open. I was like, I'll pick up some allergy medicine. You know, you have to talk to the lady. It's behind the counter. And she made me like fill out all these forms and give her my ID and all this stuff. And I was like, what's going on? Like the ID thing I used to have to do, but I didn't have to like sign all this stuff. She goes, yeah, they've stepped up the regulations and stuff. And I was like, why? What's going on? And she's like, meth. People are using this allergy medicine to make meth. And I was like, is that a Florida thing? She's like, I think it is just a Florida thing. So she's like,
that's
everywhere.
really?
It's everywhere. They invented it in Florida. They invented it in Florida, but it quickly spread north.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's everywhere. You ain't watched Breaking Bad?
No, I did, but I thought that was cold medicine. I didn't think it was Claritin pills, you know? Anyway.
Nah, bro. Sudafed, baby.
Oh, got it. All right. Well, on that note, we have a great show in store for you. Coming up later, we talked to Bethel Music. They have a new album that came out a few weeks ago, and we caught up with them about that.
What a segue.
I know, right? Speaking of meth, Bethel Music's coming up. Methyl music. I like that. That's good.
Methyl is crazy.
Sometimes the segues.
Crazy work.
Sometimes the segues fall in my lap. Sometimes there are none. So
it's pretty wild stuff. I can't justify the theology, but it is interesting tunes.
Methyl music.
Yeah.
Are they Methodists?
There we go.
The Methodists should come out with methyl music. That's missed opportunity.
That's a bad idea, bro.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Tim Tebow's book, Look Again. Have you ever wondered what would change if you truly believed you were infinitely valuable to God? In his New York Times bestselling book, Look Again, Tim Tebow reveals the powerful truth that when we learn to see the image of God in every person, including those we struggle to love, everything changes. Tebow shares incredible stories from his work with people the world often overlooks, and it will challenge you to stand up to the lies, rediscover the worth that everyone has, and impact the world for good. Find Look Again by Tim Tebow, available now wherever books are sold.
Stay tuned. Up next, it's Relevant Buzz.
Push your buttons, I keep testing the limits. My page flag is out, forget your name. Immediately, it's not personal, no offense. I met your friends 4 times, I got no defense. I fell asleep beside a church next to both your parents. They handed me a mic and then I started oversharing. I'm so embarrassing. I don't understand what you're saying when you yell at me. My bad, my bad, my bad. Yeah, hold them back laughs when you really mad going off. I know it's really bad, but
You're listening to Marty and Spencer Kane. The song is Yell at Me.
Love that song.
Yeah,
It's a great song. It's also what my ex-wife did a lot. Okay.
That's worse than the Dumb Ways to Die game, bro.
That is what we are.
She didn't. She wasn't a yeller. All right. It's time for
Relevant Buzz.
Tell us what's happening at the intersection of faith and culture this week, Emily.
Okay, so you've probably heard about the TikTok ban that was passed this week.
Of course.
But according to kind of what the reaction has been online, a lot of people seem to be confused about what's actually happening. So I would like to set some things straight for everyone so we're all on the same page.
All right. Emily Brown explainer. Let's go. I like it.
Let's do it.
Yes. Instead of mansplaining, you get me. So you're welcome. All right. First thing I want to clarify, TikTok is not shutting down right away. A lot of people think that the app's like going away. That's not true. The law states that ByteDance, which is the Chinese company that owns TikTok, must sell their stake within 12 months or the app will be banned.
Got it.
But in the meantime, nothing's going to change. You know, you can still see your fun little videos. And honestly, even a year from now, nothing will change either, most likely, because ByteDance has said that they will block the implementation of the law, meaning that any ban that would be in place would actually go on pause while the court case is going on. And even depending on that, there could be more court cases that come out of that.
Appeals, like up to the Supreme Court. So it could take years.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we're looking at earliest maybe 2026. If that, by the time any sort of ban goes into effect. And again, that's if ByteDance chooses not to sell the company.
I mean, come on. I mean, so 170 million users, $24 billion of revenue last year. It would put the value of it at $150 billion probably. ByteDance isn't going to go, oh, well, we lost the court case. I guess we'll shut down $150 billion division. No, they're going to sell it to somebody. They're going to cash in.
But here's the other thing that I heard recently too, is like, that might be a little easier said than done because of how much revenue they have. That puts their valuation, like if we're a tech company, if their revenue, usually it's 10x valuation in tech, you know,
on profit, not gross, but yeah.
Yeah. But either way, we're the price they would have to ask for that.
I'm glad you're bringing that
There
up.
are so few entities, even if they pulled money, that would be able to actually have the cash or even a lender that would be able to support that. I mean,
I literally was saying this to Emily yesterday because it's like they put investor groups together to buy an NBA team for $4 billion, not $150 billion. And that's a stretch a lot of times. I mean, I literally was saying to her, like, weren't we having this conversation yesterday afternoon? Who could possibly have this much capital laying around? There's like 5 companies, NVIDIA, Google, Apple, Meta. But here's the issue:
you can't use Meta and Google because of anti-monopoly.
That's true.
Meta can't do that.
I was gonna say that's a big issue too, is because it would be these major tech companies would be the only ones close enough to buying it, but the government is cracking down on big tech, and so that's a big part of this law is the U.S. has to approve the company that buys TikTok, and so they're not going to let Google, Microsoft, Meta become even bigger with something like TikTok, which is already huge on its own.
Yeah, they're not. So here's the thing that I ultimately think could happen with a sale direction. Okay, it's worth 150 billion, fine. There's nobody who can step up and pay that. So it's like real estate. I can ask 40 million for the mansion, but if the only offer I get is 28 million, at the end of the day, if I have to sell it, I'm going to sell it for what people are able to pay or willing to pay. So like if their best offer is $50 billion and ByteDance ultimately fights it in court and their ultimate decision is either shut down and get $0 or sell it fire sale discount for $50 billion, you got to take the $50 billion. It will get sold.
Sick.
It will get sold.
Yeah, sick.
Not maybe for the premium dollar, but it will get sold at some point. Yeah.
And honestly, the price actually could change because one of the issues that they're kind of having to work through right now is the TikTok algorithm is really what makes it so lucrative. But ByteDance owns the algorithm. So even if they sell off their US stake of TikTok, that doesn't necessarily mean that the person buying it would get the algorithm. They would just be getting an app that already has, like I think we said, 170 million
features,
users, which
the
is
users,
great.
all that stuff. Yeah.
Right. But we all know what makes TikTok so unique is the algorithm. And if you don't have that, what do you have?
You have a user base and you're starting from scratch with a new social media experience. I mean, it would look the same. It would function the same, but behind the scenes, the way you see videos and experience content would be radically different. And so that's interesting to me.
And we know how bad that is because look at X. When Elon took it over and he started getting rid of everybody behind the scenes, the app experience just literally became awful.
Horrible.
It's awful. I feel like it's rebounded a little bit lately, but that first 6 months when he was firing everybody, that experience was terrible.
Agreed.
And we see the numbers, like once you lose people, they're gone. They don't really come back to the app. So, it's really interesting.
The thing that is interesting to me too is this new economy we're in, the creator economy, influencer economy. A lot of people doing TikTok shops and making money and stuff. When you build your entire business on somebody else's platform, you are vulnerable to them tweaking the algorithm or selling the company and whatever. And then what are you going to do with your business? Like it's taken away from you overnight,
Yeah,
if the algorithm changes or whatever.
Yeah. And not only algorithm changes, but like policy shifts and like, oh, now you can't use this type of music. Sorry, all the ones that you did. Or now, we're not comfortable with this type of imagery. Or now we're not so cool with AI unless you do this sort of this on-screen disclosure. It is content create. I could probably spend the rest of the show talking about this, but like the content creation as a business model is so fraught with things that are outside the control of it used to be if you make quality content, that's monetizable by X, Y, and Z. Now platforms and algorithms control so many of the means of distribution in order for it to be monetized that, like I said, not just what the algorithm is serving and how it can alter without warning, but like I said, sort of terms of use and policies and copyrights and all it is a minefield to try to make money making content,
And it's only getting worse. Not just content, but music. I can tell you, I've been through the Facebook apocalypse, the Google apocalypse. I remember putting stuff on YouTube and it doing like crazy numbers. And then all of a sudden something switched. And then now so that's just really kind of the name of the game. Unfortunately, and it seems like TikTok is about to be a victim of that. It's pretty soon.
I think for the average user, you probably won't notice any change in TikTok, no matter what happens. And like Emily said, it could be years before even ByteDance isn't involved. But even with the changeover, it'll still look the same. You'll still have the same people following you, all the same stuff. But like if that algorithm tweaks, you talk about the Facebook apocalypse. I mean, our business, digital media, like after we had like a boom era from like 2012 2012 to like 2017. And it was like, we could put out an article. We knew exactly what the reach would be. On Facebook, you post on Facebook, you have 500 comments, 1,200 shares, it would have 20,000 views, like whatever. And then like Facebook all of a sudden saw all these publishers like us or news organizations generating all this traffic from Facebook. So like we'd post an article and people would click it and come to our site. So you're leaving Facebook, and Facebook didn't get a dime. So they just decided overnight, like, oh yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. Publishers are going to have to do instant articles or have to pay us to boost their posts, stuff like that, so we can get some coin. And they throttled everything. And like overnight, just boom,
It was
no announcement.
literally overnight.
Boom.
Yep.
Everybody nobody saw our content anymore.
Well,
and it's like, now you're scrambling.
And that came after they encouraged content creators to do it. I remember they would send around like, metadata optimization guides so that, this is how your article will display and this is how much we'll tease. And you can, again, this is nerd talk for people in the content creation business. But then
Jesse, that's everybody in these days. Everybody who has social media is a content creator.
True.
But then it was the infamous pivot to video, where they told all these traditional publishers, invest in video, just trust us, we're all doing it. And then
they're faking their numbers. Remember that?
Yeah, exactly. Because a view counted if someone scrolled by and a second of it, played over, because
YouTube was blowing up and Facebook was like, we want people to use Facebook video. So to show momentum and show publishers and video creators, come here and you'll get as many or more views because we have a bigger user base than YouTube at the time. Use us for video. Literally, they were juking it that like if it just loaded on the page at all, it didn't even play or whatever, you're just scrolling by it, it counted as a view. And so we're going, wow, God, we got 3 million views on Facebook. That's amazing. And only 500,000 on YouTube. I'm going to post more on Facebook. And then you find out a year later, they were juking the stats. And it's like, this was false. It was false information.
Wow.
And so, like, again, if it's just wisdom, if you're building your business on somebody else's business and they can make decisions that you're not involved in that affect you, probably not a long-term, viable, scalable, sustainable business.
And the other thing too, for any advice for any up and coming that actually want to make a profession out of this, focus on quality, number one, and then figure everything else out. Because if you have if you're making good quality content, whether it's music, whether it's video, whether it's podcasts or written, those changes will always come and go. But the stuff that survives isn't just the stuff that's nimble. You got to be nimble and figure out your platforms and what's working and what's not working. But if you make garbage for a certain like little algorithm hack or whatever, it's not going to survive. Good content, quality, engaging, interesting. That's the only thing. That's the only consistent, is that eventually survives.
I see all these videos now of like, you can make faceless AI automated videos and make $20,000 a month, whatever. And I'm just rolling my eyes going, in 2-3 months, this will be over. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's gonna be an oversaturation of faceless AI generated videos. This is crap content. They're going to tweak the algorithm to clean up the app experience. And like, it's just, you can't chase these like gimmicky things.
Yeah.
And that's a scam, because those guys aren't making $20,000 a month on faceless advertising. They're making $20,000 a month selling you a course about making faceless advertising.
Right.
So
I know
it's a scam, brother. Like that's one thing that I hate about, I feel like the current season we're in with digital anything. I feel like there's a lot more scams than substance. Like it really feels like there's just so much, like, even like what you said earlier, everybody's a content creator now. It's like everybody is trying to find that hustle with content creation as opposed to really having something to say. And if it makes it harder for the people that actually do have something to say to be able to get their points across. So that's one thing I don't really like about this economy. But on the flip side, I love that if you do crack through, you can get an opportunity to do that just from your living room or your bedroom. Like I found some amazing artists that we probably would have never found in the early 2000s because they wouldn't have had the budget, but they were just very interesting on TikTok or on Instagram. And it's really cool to see that, but there's pros and cons with everything, I guess.
Yeah. There's no hacking good taste. There just isn't. Like, if you have good taste and talent and you're willing to work hard enough to present your ideas or music or video or concept, sometimes you just can't teach it. People with really good taste will figure out all that other stuff. But again, I found these sound like dumb platitudes you hear in like media classes, but it's true. That's the kind of stuff that ends up rising to the top, you know?
Yeah. Yep. And honestly, this kind of actually leads to the next thing I wanted to talk about, just creating good content, because there was actually a mega pastor whose sermon is going viral for really good reasons, because he's actually talking about something very important. And I really wanted to highlight that this week. So Lauren Livingston is the lead pastor of Central Church in Charlotte, North Carolina. And in a recent sermon, he was speaking on the importance of studying scripture directly without being influenced by false doctrine. Great sermon topic. But he specifically mentions the danger of using Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA Bible, or, you know, it's the one that Trump recently endorsed. And he starts talking,
got one right
he
here.
starts warning a he starts warning the congregation about getting faith involved in quote unquote political mess. And everything he had to say was good. I think there's a reason this went viral, like what we were talking about. Like, this is good content, and we really wanted everyone to listen to it. So we've got a clip of his sermon here.
So, okay, so I'm about to hit play, but I want to give a little context. It's a 3-minute long clip. So if you're not interested, just fast forward 3 minutes. But here's why it's important. It's not that a pastor is speaking out against Christian nationalism or thing like that. It's who's saying it. Let me set the picture. Church of God in the South is a very traditional denomination. It's a Pentecostal denomination, but it looks very Baptist. It's the sort of thing where like men wear suits and ties to service, women wear skirts below their knee. It's a very traditional service experience. If you look at the crowd, there's probably more gray hair than any other color. This pastor is wearing a suit and tie and has white hair. So like, I'm just trying to set the theater of the mind. So you get the context of why this was so striking, because you would think this is the sort of congregation and pastor that would be very conservative politically and outspoken about conservative issues as it relates to their faith. And so for him to say what he's about to say was very striking. Here's 3 minutes of his sermon.
Some of you bring politics into the church. You think that politics is spiritual stuff. Politics is of this world. You think it's your duty to be political about this, that, and the other. No, your duty is to serve the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, body, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. Don't be talking to me about my spiritual responsibility to vote. I don't have a spiritual responsibility to vote. I have a civic privilege. Don't be telling me that voting is spiritual. See, that's what happens when you don't read and pray. When you don't read and pray, you say, wow, there's a Bible out now that includes the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Isn't that wonderful? No, it's disgusting. It's blasphemous. It's a ploy. Are you kidding me? Some of you are so encouraged by that. Let me tell you something. The gospel is not an American gospel. It is the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. But Pastor, I bought the Bible. Really? You're telling me that you're encouraged because someone took a government, U.S. Constitution, a document that says we are of the people, by the people, and for the people. The people, the people, the people. And you have put it right beside the Word of God, which is eternal, unchanging, which says, of Him, by Him, through Him, to Him, from Him are all things. And you're going to put those together and be happy about it? God forbid. Now, you can get mad if you want to, but I'm going to tell you something. If you glory in that kind of thing, you don't have a prayer life. If you glory in that kind of mess, political mess, you do not know what the Word of God says. I'm going to rear back and tell you something. This is not my home. This world is not my home. I've been sent out just like the 70 were sent out. You've been put here and sent out just like the 70 were sent out. We've been put here as strangers and pilgrims, and we are passing through. I am just walking through. I'm just renting an apartment for a little while in this strange and foreign land. No, sir. My real citizenship is in heaven, from which we look for the Lord Jesus.
I'm telling you, like, it's just so stunning that I'm wondering if there's going to be an undercurrent of this. Like, he's kind of like breaking the dam, loosening the dam for other pastors to start talking about this. Like, I think the pendulum has swung too far. And I think there's some concerned Christian leaders, which is interesting, from the conservative side, not the liberal side. You know, they're saying, hey, maybe this isn't it, yo.
Yeah.
It is encouraging to me to hear because, I mean, truthfully, this man's voice, I assume him to be saying one thing. And so I'm glad that he's saying, that he's like, calling this out and saying like, this is not who we are. This is not who we need to be. I think I'm glad he's saying that. So I'm glad of all the sermon clips that go viral, I'm really glad this one's going viral.
Crazy little tidbit about this church. This church is a church that Steph Curry grew up going to. Steph Curry met his wife, Aisha, in the youth group at this church in Charlotte.
Wow.
So there you go.
Wow.
That's powerful.
Small world.
Small world. All right. What's the last thing, Emily?
Okay. Last thing, and I honestly can't believe we're going here, but we do have to talk about this little rap beef going on right now between Drake, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole. Honestly, a lot of rappers.
And everybody. Drake versus everybody.
I cannot believe that I just heard Emily Brown say we have to talk about this rap beef. That's hilarious.
Silly rap beef. I want that to be clear. Okay. Basically, a lot of rappers who have too much time on their hands. I don't want to rehash all the beef because I personally don't think it's worth it. No offense to anyone who does. But I do want to talk about Drake's latest diss track, which is called Tailor Made. He released it last Friday. It's aimed at Kendrick Lamar. The big headline is that Drake posted this song and it uses AI generated verses from Snoop Dogg and Tupac. And to no one's surprise, Tupac's estate was not happy about this, and they're currently threatening to sue Drake over it because they're saying that this is violating laws. We actually have a snippet of what it sounds like because I do need y'all to hear that. It really does sound like Tupac's.
Now, to be clear, I'm going to play the clip. It's a profane clip he posted on Instagram. I mean, there's explicit lyrics or whatever. I'm going to find we found the little sliver of clean lyrics.
We've edited
Does
it
it count as explicit if it's technically a robot that wrote it and is singing it? I'm just
So here's a bit of it.
Kendrick, we need ya, the West Coast savior. Ain't great in your name, it's some hip-hop history. If you deal with this viciously, you seem a little nervous about all the publicity.
It sounds like Tupac. Sure. So they're trying to sue him. That's what they're saying? Like Tupac's estate?
Yeah. The state released this whole statement saying they're deeply dismayed and disappointed by the unauthorized use and that they never would have given approval for this if he'd even asked, which I think is funny that they threw that in there. But yeah, so they're trying to sue. The issue is like there's no AI law for them to stand on. So they're kind of having to use these copyright laws that don't really address AI and there's like some ambiguity there. So it really could go either way.
We were talking in the group chat yesterday, this is a Wild West time for AI right now. If you're going to do anything with AI that may be gray area, do it now because the laws have not caught up. That is true. Because I mean, Drake, he's got a legal team. He's not going to put something out that's going to make him liable for something. So he posted on Instagram. He didn't put it on any music platforms. He didn't monetize it. He didn't say the word Tupac in it. It's so to me, I think their justification would be that it's like parody. It's a meme, like an audible meme. Right. Like if he photoshopped Tupac onto an Instagram post, it's no different than that. This isn't Tupac. It's just a noise that kind of maybe sounds reminiscent. So it's again parody. So I think there's enough gray area that he could right now get away with it. 2 years from now, probably not. The laws will catch up, but right now, whatever.
Just don't make any money off of it. I'm gonna help you out with Cameron because Cameron said do it. I'm saying do your AI thing. Just do it for free though.
Don't make money. That's right. Yeah.
You don't want to be the guy that made some money and then now you get hit and made an example of. So
that's right.
Yeah,
that's true.
Or the guy or lady. Yeah. So
this is crazy. The world's changing fast, and the tech is going so fast, and the law is very slowly catching up to it. It's not. I don't think it's going to be playing whack-a-mole for the next forever. I don't think the law. This is going to be crazy seeing what happens coming up, but. Anyway.
Yeah. And that's your Rap Beef recap with Emily Brown.
All right.
Oh, we're at the dab right now. We're like when the dab went mainstream, that's where we at.
Okay, I feel like that was a dig at me, but I'll take it.
It was. It absolutely was.
We dabbing, baby.
All right, that'll do it for
Relevant Buzz.
Make sure to check out relevantmagazine.com every weekday where we're covering faith, culture, and everything in between. Thanks, Emily. All right, stay tuned. Up next, Bethel Music joins us. You're listening to Blonde Shell and Bully. The song is Docket.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times best-selling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way His Spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold.
Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting GodTheScienceTheEvidence.com.
Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose The Barbarian Way. Available now wherever books are sold.
Well, our guest today is Edward Rivera. He's a worship leader from Bethel Music. They just released a new live worship album called Moments Wait. We talked to Edward to hear more about the album and find out what Bethel's been up to recently and what they have planned next. Here's our conversation with Edward Rivera from Bethel Music.
Well, we're here to talk about Bethel's new album, which is called Moments Wait. Where did the inspiration for this album come from?
I mean, the heart of it really is to really capture what experiences that we have at the church and be able to share them with everybody. I think it's basically going back to like, it's an opportunity for us to go back to the basics, go back to like where we started. And I remember first finding out about Bethel, and it was all very spontaneous and a lot of beautiful moments. And that's really what drew me in and actually helped me want to grow as a worship leader. So I think it's great that they're creating a space for an album to be able to just, there's nothing other than just capturing presence and releasing it. There's no like radio and there's no nothing. It's just like, let's just capture what we experience and share it with other people, with the world.
Okay, you said this reflects the heart of what's happening in Bethel right now. So tell me a little bit more about that. What's going on in Bethel, both the church and the worship collective?
Well, Bethel is such a transitional space. Like, it's a place where you come and get equipped. So a lot of people come. I was there for 6 years living there, and I got to meet people from all over the world. They come, they get fed, they get poured into, they bless our city, and then go back to bless theirs. You know, they go back to their home churches and take everything that they learned there. Bethel is such an equipping place. So I will say that's been something that's been consistent throughout all this time. It's like, if there's one thing that the Lord is doing there is equipping the body. So a lot of people are going there to do so. So I think that's probably like the biggest thing I've seen is just like, it's harvest time. So let's go get people. Let's go win some people.
All right, so now knowing all of that, how would you say these songs reflect those experiences?
These types of albums, specifically a Moments albums, an album like Moments, is back to basics. It just kind of like I mentioned earlier, it just kind of brings us back to learning how to tune in, learning how to be still, and how to have like I mentioned before, the Selah moments. You know, like having those moments where we just rest, learning to rest. So I think it equips worship leaders like me, people that in that way, like people that want to grow and learn how to tap into areas of worship that you've never have before. And I think an album like this challenges people and equips people. And it makes, like, for example, I go back to when I first heard an album like this one, which was usually like their original, the beginning albums of Bethel music. There was one that Jen was singing where she was just singing, "You make me happy." And she was just singing that over and over again. And I was like, I think that's it. Like, I felt so awakened, and I was like, I want to know God the way she does. And it like challenged me as a worship leader. So it, which kind of like led me to moving here I wanted to get equipped with everything I could, because I knew that the Lord had called me to do something special, and I just wanted to make sure that my heart and my spirit and everything was ready before I go out. So I was there 6 years, and I'm out now. I'm traveling all over Latin America, ministering. So I would say, to answer your question, I get inspired by music like this, and it equips me. So I think that it ties into the culture. It speaks to the culture of Bethel to begin with. Like, it's just an equipping place, beautiful place.
More than anything that you can do, I just want you.
A lot of the songs on the album are specifically about waiting on God, which I think is a lot easier said than done. Do you have any tips for people who are struggling in the waiting season right now?
This just helps me. I'll turn off all my lights. I'll close every blind. I'll try to get as dark where I rid myself of every distraction, and I just sit there. And I just turn my attention towards him. I don't ask for anything. I'm just recognizing and acknowledging that he's here, that he's with me, that I'm not picturing him as this far away God. You know what I mean? So I'm just heightening my awareness of his location, of he's everywhere, he's in everything. So once I start to meditate on that, then it just quiets my mind. It quiets my heart. I just take deep breaths and just breathe in his presence and just breathe out thankfulness. And I think like the scripture says, we enter into his courts with thanksgiving. I think that alone welcomes whatever he wants to say or do in the moment. So I think a posture of thanksgiving is the key.
I just want you. Oh, I just want you. And nothing else. And nothing else. And nothing else will do. I just want you. And nothing else.
I did want to specifically ask about your song, Nothing Else. How did that song album?
Such a good song. Shout out to Cody Carnes. Man, it's crazy. How all of this happened was I went to a writing camp that Bethel was putting together. Brian had asked me if I wanted to come. They usually do it for other people, but they opened it up for a few people from the worship team. And I went, and that's the first time I ever heard it. Paul McClure sang that song. And I immediately, it was just him on a guitar. And Paul's voice is already so haunting and so beautiful. Paul was singing that song and I was listening to the lyrics and I was like, I haven't heard anything like this in so long. And it forced me to look back at what I'm doing with my, it checked my heart. And I just remember falling to my knees and being just worshiping to that song. And I'm like, I'm doing that the next Sunday I sing. So I did it with Brian and it was just an acoustic set. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. It's so sweet. It's no drums. It's just it just forces you to only pay attention to the lyrics and really connect to that. So we did it. It was beautiful. And they posted it on YouTube and I had no idea that it was going to take off the way that it did. But I like it. I like that there was no agenda. There was no, I didn't record this song thinking oh, what if it makes, I didn't think any of that stuff. I was just enjoying being there and enjoying being able to directly sing that song to him. It was just the best.
I love that the song has had an impact on you personally. I'm curious, when other people hear it, what are you hoping they take away from it?
Oh man, I hope it makes them connect back to the Father. I think we live in there's a lot of pure hearts and a lot of people that are worshipers that they see what we're doing and they have the calling and the Lord told them they're going to do great things. And a lot of times, I'm speaking this from experience, a lot of times as we obey and we pursue that dream, we get lost in that dream sometimes, and it happens. And that's why the Holy Spirit's there, just to kind of reel us back in, and uses songs like these ones to help us connect back and be like, hey, don't forget, it's not about the stage, it's not about the lights, it's not about it's not about anything. It's about the Father. You're doing this for Him. You're saying yes to Him. You're going out and doing these things for Him. So I hope that it just helps people go back to the heart of worship and just live a lifestyle of worship out, and songs like these help our spirits remember why we do this.
That was Edward Rivera from Bethel. Go check out their new live album, Moments Wait. Stay tuned. Up next, it's your feedback. You're listening to I Dress and Kuko. The song is Changing Faces. I think there was a movie about that. Face Off.
It's a fantastic movie. It's called Face Off. You know, I don't know that Travolta's catalog has held up as well as Nicolas Cage's, but this is dead center of what you want. This is a separate conversation. Don't get me started. Face Off is unbelievable.
The song is Changing
concept.
Faces, but yeah, it's clearly inspired by the movie
Because
Face
you get
Off.
to see Nick Cage play two different wild characters. It's double Cage. It's actually two Cage movies. Anyway, but I digress.
One of these days, Jesse, we do need your complete Nick Cage ranking of movies.
I would love to do that. I would love to do it.
I mean, he did a 24-hour marathon of watching Nick Cage movies to raise money for
if
charity
there's
water.
anyone whose opinion I trust, it's the man who subjected himself to a 24-hour Nick Cage marathon.
I will
true.
say,
Hey guys,
yeah.
Hold on. This one just shocked me.
Oh, wait, well, we got to get to the question. Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Cameron actually hasn't introduced it yet.
All right.
I
it's
thought
time-
he introduced it.
No,
This is
we were
crazy.
just talking about the
y'all.
song. Okay,
Oh my goodness.
It's time for your feedback. Derek was looking at your answers before. Here we go. It's time for your feedback. Last week we asked you, what's the craziest thing you've seen at a church or church conference, like church service or conference? You hit us up on X at Relevant Podcast. Here's a few of our favorites.
All right, Kevin, I'm so appalled. He says a pastor that washed someone's feet during service and then later broke bread to serve communion. This was the days before we had hand sanitizer.
No. No.
You serve feet bread for
Feet bread.
communion, dog. Feet bread is crazy.
That's not of God.
Lee said at his friend's youth group, and he prefaced by they think they might have ran out of communion stuff. Though Lee says that they think they might have run out on purpose, that they used Doritos and Mountain Dew for communion, which, you know.
Does that count? Like,
No.
I need a theologian to weigh in on that one.
That does not
Counts?
count.
There's nothing about the cracker that's specific.
No, bro.
I'm not.
That feels like you just wanted a
Listen,
snack and you were like, let me
Do it
justify
in
it by making it
remembrance of
holy.
me. Just do it in remembrance of me. As
I'm
long as
not-
you're remembering.
I'm not Catholic, you know, but I do feel like the reverence they have and for the sacraments, they are the sacraments after all, because they are sacred. You know, I'm not totally comfortable with the Mountain Dew.
No, y'all not gonna tell me Jesus' blood is Mountain Dew, bro. I just say I'm not
just-
buying it, gang.
Doing
I
it in
know it's
remembrance.
symbolic, but dog,
But there has to be a line that
Mountain
we can't
Dew
cross.
is poisonous.
First time I ever tasted alcohol was like 16 at a Anglican church or something or whatever. We went up for communion and whoa, what's that? Like, because they serve it out of the cup, you know? Like, also, they serve it out of the cup and everybody's drinking out of the same cup. That's not sanitary, but
That's not sanitary at all.
But yeah.
I grew up
Not as bad
Pentecostal.
as feet bread.
Feet bread is crazy.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with a
my
lot of
church,
these.
we was drinking wine. I don't know.
I do want to talk about Adams really quickly. He said he was at a conference where Francis Chan was speaking, and this is when Crazy Love was like really popular. And as Francis was exiting, a guy rushed the stage, which resulted in church security getting up and like, you know, I guess
Stop him.
not
Yeah.
tackling him, but
It's
stopping him.
clobbering time.
And then the guy said he just wanted to pray for Francis Chan in his ministry.
Nah, bro, you was out of order though, bro. Like you was supposed to get. That's too much.
You know that church
That's too
security
much.
though, that was like their Super Bowl, like because that,
That was
never
the moment.
happens.
They were like, yeah, I protected
we've been
Francis
training
Chan.
for years for this moment.
That was the moment.
Protect Chan. All right,
That was the moment.
There's more where that came from. Go check it out over on X. Okay, it's time for this week's
Editorial question of the week. Hey.
All right. Well, at the beginning of the show, we were talking about Derek almost dying from a bee sting in his neck. And we were also talking about dumb ways to die that, when we were kids in the 90s, didn't think about safety. It's just like, I wonder what would happen if I did that. You just do it. Looking back, maybe not the smartest. Kind of glad that we all made it through that era. So we want to know dumb ways that you almost died as a kid, not literally, but dumb stuff you did that when you look back on it, you can't believe that you did that thing. There you go. Hit us up on X at Relevant Podcast or on our Instagram stories when we post the question there as well. We'll read our favorites on next week's show. Well, before we wrap things up, I want to thank Edward Rivera from Bethel Music for joining us today. Make sure to check out their new live album, Moments Wait. Also, during the interview, you probably heard us add Edward's song, Nothing Else, which is from that album. It is absolutely incredible. We put it on the Relevant Worship playlist on Spotify. Go check that out, by the way. It's a great playlist. If you need a little soundtrack for your, car rides or just, throughout the workday or something, just to turn your heart and mind toward the Lord, the Relevant Worship playlist over on Spotify is an awesome thing to have playing in the background. All right. On that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Emily Brown.
I'm Derek Miner.
We'll see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
I was blow drying my hair in the bathtub last night thinking about how much I love my outdoor TV.
Relevant Podcast Network.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.